would?
Because he's a pedophile?
Where were you when Biden was president?
I just don't think he's in them.
I don't think so. We should stay at work.
I think she's compromised in so many different ways.
Republicans in Congress protect pedophiles.
It's another beautiful day on the Hill. The weather's starting to calm down. It's not as hot as it was a few weeks ago. There's a lot of shade, which is nice. But today I will be asking members of Congress about the Epstein Files, the possibility of President Trump being in them, and President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi's handling or mishandling of the Epstein Files after they had previously claimed that they had them on Pam Bondi's desk. But now apparently they don't exist and they're not being released, but we'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more. Congresswoman, why won't President Trump and Pam Bondi release the Epstein Files? I'm good. It's not as hot as it usually is.
Well, you're in the shade. You have a nice little breeze here. Make sure you have water.
I will, but can you please tell me why President Trump and Pam Bondi refused to release the Epstein Files after announcing for weeks that they would?
Where were you when Biden was president? You weren't out here asking the same questions. But you can go to my Twitter at Nancy Mason to see what I said.
Well, we're not here to, live through the past. We're here to look at the present and the future. Hi, Congressman. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's not as hot as it usually is, which is great.
Well, not bad. Easier for you who have to work outside all day.
Thank you, sir. Why isn't the Trump administration releasing the Epstein Files?
I don't know. I think a reasonable person would assume that there's something embarrassing in the files, something that Donald Trump doesn't want out. I have not seen the files. I do think they should be released, and I do think candidates should try to keep his promises.
All right. Should Pam Bondi resign over the mishandling of the files?
I think she's compromised in so many different ways. I hardly think that she's the best and brightest attorney general we've ever had, but it turns out if she were lying, that when they ultimately do get released, that she says there's nothing there and there is something there, then yes, that would be grounds for her removal.
All right, last question. Both Dan Bongino and Kash Patel have threatened to resign from the FBI unless Pam Bondi resigns. Do you believe that they genuinely, in good faith, just want to see her gone, or are they just trying to cover themselves up and make themselves look better?
I don't know. I don't know enough about internal Republican politics. I do know that they both feel pretty passionate about wanting to see what was in the Epstein Files and are disappointed that the president and the attorney general have not released them.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. See you.
Have a good one. How are you doing today?
Good, brother. What's up?
Good to hear, good to hear. The weather's getting better, but I just wanted to quickly ask you, why do you think it's taking so long for President Trump to release the Epstein Files?
I don't know. I mean, it's ultimately it's probably up to Congress to make that decision. I don't know any of that. There's all this strategy out there, but frankly, my folks are asking for it. So.
And just one more quick question. Let's just say the files do get released and come to find out that President Trump actually is in them. What would be your initial reaction?
I just don't think he's in them, because if he was, the Biden administration would have released that the first day. I just don't think that's it. I think his concern is releasing like a flight log of people that flew, and maybe they didn't even know Epstein. And that's what rich people do. I know a bunch of them that fly with other people, and a plane breaks down, and they say, hey, I'm going to New York, can you give me a ride up there? And then, yeah, I'm going with this other guy, and they wouldn't even know. So there'd be innocent people. I think we need to clarify all that before we do anything, and I do not want to release anything that would show any of the children or anything like that. We don't need that. We don't need any child pornography out there, and we don't need to be the ones putting it out, and
Sounds
protect
good.
those people's privacy.
Thank you, sir. You have a good
Thank
one.
you, brother.
Excuse me, Congressman, speaking of Epstein, why aren't President Trump and Pam Bondi releasing the Epstein Files after promising for weeks that they would?
Because he's a pedophile?
So you think he's on the files?
No, I think he's a pedophile.
But do you think he's on the files, though? And do you think Pam Bondi should resign? Excuse me, Congressman, should August recess be canceled?
I think we should be releasing the Epstein Files rather than releasing members of Congress. That's my view.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, Congressman, should August recess be canceled?
Well, it's just unbelievable that he's dealing with this controversy by sending us on vacation. We've got a lot of work to do in here. Is there anyone in America who thinks that Congress is doing enough right now? I don't think so. We should stay at work.
Protect pedophiles. Protect pedophiles. Republicans in Congress protect pedophiles. Prove you're wrong. Republicans in Congress protect pedophiles. Protect pedophiles.
To release information about Jeffrey Epstein in the matter.
Well, when you don't know a lot about it, there's no reason to talk about it that much. I've talked to Pam Bondi and Cash, everybody that's involved in it, and they would love to do as much as they possibly could. But you got to remember, the last 4 years, what's there? What's actually left? There's been times to push things around and change things, but end of the day, I'm satisfied with how they've their explanation for the past few days. Obviously, they would like to take some things back about, hey, we've got those things on our desk, and those were not quite what they thought they were. So
You think I could explain it better?
yeah, probably could explain a little bit better. But end of the day, that's way down the list of what we have to get done in this country to survive. You know, we're